So hey guys, welcome back. So I really hope you enjoyed the full course. It was really meant as sort of a primer, so now to kickstart your knowledge of Houdini. So I really hope you now sort of more fundamentally understand why Houdini is awesome and how to work with Houdini. Now that you understand all of these fundamentals, I think you're in a much better spot to also watch other people's courses and to watch stuff with dynamics. And of course, we'll start diving into dynamics later on when I do my Houdini 102 course, which is going to focus on dynamics, of course. But before I wanted to conclude this whole course, I wanted to do sort of an extras part, which kind of shows why I chose this underwater scene with this squid, and also to sort of show you that stuff doesn't look good from day one. It's a process. I think that might be especially a good lesson if you're new to 3D and you're watching this. The guys that are watching this mainly as a sort of primer to how to use Houdini, but they already have fundamental knowledge on 3D and other 3D packages. They will probably already know this. But Rome isn't built in a day. Stuff doesn't look good from day one. It's all about iterating upon what you're doing and just improving it. So I'm going to go through all of the steps that led me to the final shot. And then hopefully that will sort of help you, that will maybe help you understand that you just need to keep working, keep improving. And if the first version doesn't look good, don't drop it. If you still think it has potential, just keep iterating on it. Think for every shot, like for every version, like this should be improved, this should be improved. Ask your friends. Don't be afraid to show the ugly stuff to friends. Like, ask for their opinion and have them sort of give you their opinion. So a couple of friends I showed this shot to. I showed it to my friend Jeroen Aerts, who gave great feedback on the lighting. I showed it to Bo Zonneveld, who helped with he gave me good composition stuff. Hendrik Visser also gave me tips. Dieter Veldbrugge. So there's a whole bunch of friends that I showed this stuff to before I finished the shot. So anyway, let's dive a little bit into some of these steps. So it initially started, and I was asked to do a workshop late last year about introduction to Houdini. So when I prepared that, I made a whole bunch of just fun examples that we could do during the class. And one of those was this thing. It's a little bit slow, but so it's just a sort of a sphere with sort of tentacly things that are moving. And this is basically what we've been making as well, just as a sort of a base thing, because this is what sort of kickstarted the entire squid thing. Because when I was looking at this, it looks sort of like an alien type creature. So when I wanted to do this Houdini 101 course, I kind of thought this might be a good starting point, because the people in the class also really liked this thing, and they played around with it, and they came up with their own variations. It was just a lot of fun to see. So that I took that as a starting point. And initially I wanted this thing to actually be an alien. So let's go into what we did. So if I go into some other stuff that I did. So one of the first things that I made is like I had this thing. That was an old render. You can see it's just this thing with sort of bulges on it. They didn't start off as being eyes. There was just like sort of bulges on the surface. So I thought it looked like sort of weird alien-like. So that was like the first thing. And I was like, well, yeah, okay, but this is sort of like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Like, I need to put it in sort of an environment. So I thought, okay, maybe I should like put him in in a city. So the camera here doesn't move, but the idea was first going to be like an alien above a city. So you would like it. I thought maybe I could do some procedural buildings and stuff. But it kind of got away from that thing, because I thought the more I was working on it, the more I thought it just looked more like a squid thing. So, okay, here's another one. So also in the city. Then I started with the underwater scene. So, here's another render just of the thing itself. you can see it started off just as a sort of a GUI sort of thing with all these subsurface scattering, some lights there. I mean, it still looks pretty cool, but I mean, it's not, I mean, I think the final thing just looks a lot cooler. So anyway, so the first underwater scene that I made was this thing. When initially I was just going for something super dark. So yeah, it was a sort of a squid here, an alien squid, but it was yeah, well, a lot darker. So it has these tentacles and a lot more eyes, and I guess the subsurface scattering in these eyes are cool, and the highlights here are cool. Still kind of like the overall sort of vibe of it, I guess, but it went away from this to being more like a sort of a Finding Nemo-y type look. So anyway, so yeah, so here's just a very sort of render, I guess, from like just the rocks. I was just testing with like the light going through, and you can see the squid here. It's like he's already more cartoonish, like hiding behind this rock. And I kept hiding him behind the rock because I like the sort of mysterious vibe that this had. So initially I wanted to keep it well, sort of mysterious, and my idea was that if you would go to this rock thing, and then it would reveal this squid, that it would be like, whoa, what's over there? That was the idea. And I mean, of course, in the final shot we still sort of have that. I mean, we're revealing him still, but we're revealing him swimming from down here and then moving up. But at least like he's not completely hidden behind like a rock anymore. And of course, like the materials and all the stuff, it just wasn't really great yet. Okay, so anyway, we continued a little bit. I added some seaweed. So you can see the rock here is already somewhat similar to, like, I didn't change that much. So the base rock was the same. It was like this part. I kind of like the light there. But yeah, I mean, it was still, he was sort of coming behind here, and he was somewhat smaller as well. Just the shape was also different. Yeah, then I decided to get rid of the rock. So you can see I cut the rock away. That's what we did with the boolean, right? You can see I added some coral here, and this was when I started to sort of be somewhat happy with what it was turning out. I didn't really like his shape that much yet, but I thought I was settled on him. But when I recorded the part on building the squid, so I made the final shot while also recording parts already. I was just playing around with the shape of him, and then the shape ended up changing a little bit while I was recording the course, because I was trying some way more extreme shapes when I was doing the course. And like some of these shapes, you can see them in the breakdown. I kind of think this one looks pretty cool as well. So yeah, I kind of like that, but yeah, he changed a little bit. So yeah, this was his. So yeah, he went from this, to being more like this. You can see this still has the just the white eyes and stuff. Oh, and during the whole process, I was rendering with depth of field, and I kind of wanted to try to also do it in compositing, but it didn't end up looking great. Like, I was getting a lot of fringing around the seaweed, so that's why I just ended up rendering the whole thing. So let's see if I have some more renders from this thing. So that's why my folder is called Alien Squid and Alien Render, because it's because it's an alien render. So Alien Squid. Where's the underwater? So here's another one. So these ones are already getting pretty close, I think. Yeah, as you can see, so this was already getting pretty close to the final result. So after this, it was mostly just tweaking. Yeah, that's also what I mean with, like, when we are doing the course. Like, of course, the final result of the stuff that we built during the course is not going to be exactly the same as this final thing. But that's just because you have to keep iterating upon your work to get to this level. Like, you just as I said, like this is somewhat close also to this, and then it's pretty close to this, but all of these sort of steps add up to the final result. So yeah, I kind of hope you sort of see what we're coming from. Like we're not, you're not starting from, from something great from day one. You just sort of build up to it. And of course, I mean, there's still stuff that could be better with this one. I mean, if you keep working on it, you can always find things to improve. Well, what I generally just like to do is I just take a shot to what I think at that point is just the best I can do, to a point. Like I can, of course, I know I can keep improving stuff, but after a while, you also just have to start maybe doing some final renders, and these renders also tend to add up. And I mean, after a while, you just have to say finished, not perfect. So just finish it, then move along. And I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I hope you like it too. So anyway, so this was just an little extra part that I wanted to record. So yeah, that's definitely the end of the course. I really hope you enjoyed this part. Let me know what you liked about the course, what you didn't like about the course, what you think I could do better next time. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, if you're a Patreon supporter, which you probably are if you're watching this, then you can contact me on Discord, and I'll gladly help you out if you get stuck. So yeah, thanks for watching this entire thing, guys. Really appreciate it. Hope you found it fun. Hope you learned a lot. And until next time. So yeah, hope you found this whole course fun. If you did, please consider supporting on Patreon. That like I cannot keep making all this stuff if it wasn't for all of my Patreon supporters. So thank you so much if you are, and if you are not, please consider supporting. Even a couple of dollars a month helps. And again, if you're supporting, you get access to a lot of exclusive stuff, downloads to project files, and more stuff like that. And also make sure to hit the thumbs up icon and subscribe. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. Peace.